Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
San Antonio police are still searching for a suspect in an overnight shooting. What led to those shots being fired and sending one man to the hospital?
Plus, a second bus of migrants arriving in Los Angeles from Brownsville. What LA leaders are now saying.
Already 76 degrees. Hey, are we going to have triple digits this week? But hey, also some of us are getting rain, especially west of our viewing area. How long will that rain stick around for? Sarah Spivey will let us know in just a bit.
Good morning, 8 o'clock this Sunday. It is July 2nd. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
Yesterday, it was hot and humid. Did you make it outside?
No, I stayed inside.
Nice.
I stayed inside.
In the AC.
Made refreshing beverages.
Nice.
Had some people over.
What'd you guys do?
Okay, my husband likes watching wrestling.
I don't know why you're so ashamed of this.
Because I am not a fan. I mean, I've been to WrestleMania.
I was going to say, you went to WrestleMania.
I'm as in support of my husband, who is a fan. But Sarah, I was a fan of the raindrops that we had on my windshield this morning. I mean, it was small. Light.
Right. We had a little bit of light rain in San Antonio overnight. Honestly, the heaviest of the rain fell west of San Antonio. Neighborhoods out west of San Antonio, y'all got some good rain. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. But here's what's left over. Honestly, just a few light rain showers near Medina Lake, Hondo, Bandera, Kerrville this morning. You can see that the system really is starting to fizzle out. In fact, outside right now, though, we are dealing with the clouds from this system. It's cloudy to start the day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Winds are calm. These clouds are going to help us shave off a couple of degrees from the afternoon high temperature, but it's still going to be a hot day. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. We'll probably start to see the sun closer to noon. It'll be 89 degrees at noon, and in the afternoon, we're looking at a high in the mid to upper 90s. 98 for the high temperature, and notice I have included a 20% chance for an isolated downpour this afternoon from 3 p.m. until about 8 p.m. because I do think there will be a couple of pop-up showers and storms peppering the radar across south central Texas. Again, your chance is only 20%. Don't cancel your plans, but we'll keep you posted if and when those showers and storms do pop up. Coming up in the forecast, we are going to talk about how much rain fell for some neighborhoods overnight last night, and we'll have a look ahead to the 4th of July holiday. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a shooting outside the Manhattan nightclub on the city's north side sent one man to the hospital, and San Antonio police are still searching for the suspect. So police say the shooting happened around 2 a.m. on Blanco Road, south of Bassey Road. A woman and the victim were at the club when someone the woman knew showed up and started arguing with the couple. The man then allegedly pulled out a gun and shot the victim in the shoulder. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
Bexar County Sheriff's Office asking for your help trying to find a 13-year-old, Julissa Barron. She was last seen Friday night on the far west side. Take a look. Deputies say she was last seen in the 900 block of Cozumel Emerald. This is the city's far west side. She was last seen wearing a white top, white pants, and black Crocs. Now, she suffers from a condition that requires medical attention. If you see her or know where she may be, you are asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. That number, 210-335-6000.
A busload of migrants from Brownsville arrived in Los Angeles yesterday, making this the second bus is in less than 3 weeks to arrive there. So Los Angeles officials said they were made aware of the bus's upcoming arrival, but the mayor's office was, quote, not formally notified. And, quote, most migrants were picked up by family once they arrived and were greeted with water and food. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has now bused more than 23,000 migrants to cities across the country.
Well, the Texas House investigation into impeached Attorney General Ken Paxton, that investigation now includes a series of property purchases that the Attorney General made. So the Wall Street Journal reports that the Attorney General, Paxton, his wife, and family spent nearly $3.5 million on 6 properties. Now, the time span was July 2021 to April 2022. House investigators now looking into allegations that Paxton was misusing his office to help a wealthy real estate investor. Those allegations tied to most of the 20 articles of impeachment that the House approved last month. Head attorney for Paxton, Houston attorney Tony Busby, has downplayed these property purchases. Remember, though, the Texas Senate has scheduled a September 5th trial on whether to permanently remove Paxton from office. Well, the Texas Department of State Health Services announcing that they are aware of just the one case of malaria here in our state. They've also announced no infected mosquitoes have been found, but still, there's a lot of questions.
That's right. So joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Dr. Jason Bowling, infectious disease specialist with UT Health San Antonio. Good morning, Dr. Bowling. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Bowling, for those who don't know, what is malaria and what should Texas families know about it?
Right. So malaria is a disease that's caused not by a bacteria or a virus, but a different type of germ called a protozoa. It is only transmitted by mosquitoes to people, so it's not transmitted from person to person. We see most of the cases in the world, about 95% of them are on the continent of Africa. We do see cases every year in the United States, but they're usually coming from people that have visited other areas where it transmits locally. So it is big news that we have a local case here in Texas. What it means for people here in Texas is, fortunately, the risk is extremely low. There's only been one case identified so far, and I think it's great news that we identified that one case. But it's important for people to recognize that mosquitoes are more than just a nuisance, right? More than just cause itchy bites. They can transmit disease. So malaria, West Nile virus has been detected in San Antonio. So people need to take precautions to protect themselves against mosquito bites, put on insect repellent, and try and empty any standing water that might be around your house. And flower pots is a popular area in those little dishes around your plants that are outside of the sun, or other areas where you may have water, like standing baby pools, things like that.
Okay, to give our viewers a better understanding about malaria, is there a treatment for it? And also, I know that there's been studies about the malaria vaccine for those highly affected countries in Africa. So what can we ever expect that vaccine to be given here eventually in the future in the U.S.? And then if someone does get malaria in the U.S., how are they treated?
A great question. So malaria is a very treatable disease. The important thing is that it's identified and diagnosed, really. That's the key, because the medicines we use are a little bit different than the common antibiotics we use for other types of infections like pneumonia, skin and soft tissue infections. So it's important that people recognize it and identify it. And that's why the CDC's put out this early alert that it is a possibility. The symptoms, people can have fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. They're pretty non-specific. That's why a lot of times people ask about travel, or now they'll ask about extensive time outdoors. The vaccine is they've been working on a vaccine for a while. There's a lot of hope for a vaccine. Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world. And every year they cause an estimated 700,000 deaths or more. So that's why they're working on this vaccine, because malaria is a big reason for that. It can cause severe disease and death. The vaccines are still kind of being studied. There's not one yet planned for the United States because we don't have that many cases here. Hopefully that will continue.
You talked about people going outdoors. Obviously, this can be a huge weekend for people out and about grilling for Independence Day. What is your warning to families, not only about the possibility of malaria? We know it's a small possibility, but still. What about anything else that you guys are dealing with?
Very important for people to take precautions against the intense heat that we've been experiencing here for the beginning of this summer. As we know, it's hotter than usual. It's usually hot during Texas summer, but particularly hot now. It's important that people take precautions against heat exhaustion. We have seen cases of heat exhaustion at the emergency department. So we need people to wear loose-fitting clothes, stay hydrated, wear sun repellent, stay out of the direct sun if you can, and just be conscious. If you start having symptoms of lightheadedness, dizziness, nausea, those are early signs of heat exhaustion, and you need to get out of the sun, you need to get indoors, be drinking plenty of water.
Okay, so we also saw the CDC issued a health advisory for measles. What should parents be aware about for the situation?
Yes, unfortunately, the CDC has been pretty busy with some health advisory notices. There was a case of measles just southwest of Fort Worth, and this child that it was identified in had not really traveled. And so what the CDC is raised the alert. Really, it's important for people to recognize that we have an excellent vaccine against measles. Really, it's almost upper 90% as far as effective protecting against that disease. So people need to make sure that they're vaccinated. And then if they're traveling places, they need to look ahead. If you're going to go travel to a country abroad, you should look to see, do they have measles outbreaks? There's a lot of concern with the disruption we have with the COVID pandemic that people might be off schedule with their immunizations. And then in some areas of Europe with the war, there are people that are off schedule as well. So there's a higher risk for measles transmission, and particularly for people that are traveling this summer.
And speaking of traveling, a lot of people traveling through the weekend. I think record numbers already being hit. I was just on a plane. I saw a lot of people wearing masks. Do you see masks as a permanent fixture of our society going forward?
So I look at it as a positive indicator that people recognize masks are an effective tool. And so everybody should do their own risk calculation. If they're at higher risk for infection or severe disease with respiratory viruses, they should consider it. right now, fortunately, respiratory virus transmission is low. And so for most healthy people, that's not necessary. But if you've had an organ transplant or if you're on immunotherapy for chemotherapy, cancer or some other medical condition, you may be at high risk. And even though the transmission right now is low, we still are seeing cases of rhinovirus, which causes the common cold, SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID, and even a few cases of influenza still low, but still available or still possible during the summer. And so, again, I think everybody should be encouraged to wear a mask if they feel comfortable doing so, if they want to do so. I don't think most normal, healthy people, immunocompetent people need to right now. But for those people that are at higher risk, it's something they should consider, and it's still very effective.
Well, Dr. Jason Bowling with UT Health San Antonio, always a pleasure having you on. So much important information. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your time this morning. For our viewers, you can find this interview in full later this morning on KSAT.com.
All right, time now, 8:11, 76 degrees.
Okay, famous rapper Travis Scott won't be indicted following the deadly Astroworld Festival back in 2021. So what a Houston grand jury found, that's still ahead.
And inspiring young women is what one local nonprofit is hoping to do. We're going to tell you their story next, their focus during a period of 10 weeks.
76 degrees at 8:11. Some of us had some sprinkles. We woke up earlier this morning. There is a small chance for rain throughout the week. Sarah Spivey will let us know what that means for our viewing area when we come back. San Antonio nonprofit hopes to empower and encourage young women through a 10-week class called Beautiful You. So the group behind this course goes by the name Monster Moms. Tia Gibson is the founder of the nonprofit and says they focus on teaching women and young girls about what makes them special, while also having conversations about different issues.
Start off talking about basically how you love yourself, what is self-love, how do you identify as who you are, right? And then we talk about trauma and how does it feel to be sad and what does it mean to have a trigger, and what is a trigger?
Gibson says the nonprofit was established in 2018, has been helping many young people navigate through parenting and providing hygiene essentials.
All right, well, back here at home, 8:15, 76 degrees out. Sarah, did you make it outside yesterday?
I did a little bit.
Nice.
It was very hot.
Family in town?
Yeah, my family's in town. Hi, Mom and Dad, if they're watching.
Hi.
We are going to be seeing a couple of degrees cooler weather this afternoon, but we're still talking mid to upper 90s for the high. And the reason why is because we got some rain yet last night around San Antonio, just some light rain, but some heavier rain off to the west. Here's what's left of that system, really falling apart. But if you're joining us in Bandera, up in Comfort, out near Medina Lake, Hondo and Divine, that's where we've got some of this light rain still remaining near Comfort and Kerrville along I-10. What you're seeing here is actually the return of the bats to the Bracken Cave there, which is really neat that we can see that on the radar. We've also got some light rain ongoing around Frio County, where they saw a lot of rain over the last about 12 hours or so. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these rainfall totals. You can see around San Antonio, the most rain we saw was maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of rain in some spots, but honestly, it was just some very light rain. Honestly, the winters were west of San Antonio. Anywhere you see these oranges, that's about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches of radar estimated rain, about 2 inches of radar estimated rain out near Uvalde. Eagle Pass saw a good amount of rain in the overnight hours. We're looking at about 4 inches of rainfall out near Eagle Pass, and in Del Rio we saw about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain too. So again, real winters out west. In fact, what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and turn on the drought monitor, and you can see that some areas which are at least under a moderate drought will benefit from that rain. Unfortunately, areas that are experiencing the most exceptional drought only saw a little bit of that light rain across the hill country, so not much of a help from the rain out there. Now, this system is the tail end of a larger system, which is out across the Great Lakes today. This is where we're going to have some of the storminess, but that heat high, which was overhead last week, the week before, gave us heat index values 110, 115 degrees. That has moved east and has weakened. In fact, the highest heat index values from this heat high going to be clocking in near New Orleans at about 107. Otherwise, here's the forecast for the day today. Again, these clouds are going to stick around until at least the afternoon when we'll see peaks of sunshine. And I did add a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm this afternoon. I think we'll have a few pop-up summer showers or storms this afternoon. Coverage will only be about 20%, but the possibility is there from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just have the KSAT Weather Authority app handy. Take a look at some of these rain-cooled temperatures. Lost Maples at 67. We're also socked into cloud cover though right now, and again, that's going to help shave off a couple of degrees from the high. Here's how your KSAT 12-hour forecast shakes out. By noon, we'll be at 89 degrees, and there's that 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm after about 3 p.m. We'll be looking at a high temperature right near 98 today, so it's still going to be hot, just not as hot as it has been the last several days. And then by the evening, temperatures will fall to near 90 degrees by 9 p.m. Take a look at highs in your neighborhoods. Notice it's going to be cooler but still warm off to the west. 92 in Del Rio, 91 in Rock Springs. These are the areas that got a lot of rain overnight, so they've got that rain-soaked ground. Meanwhile, 98 in San Antonio, 98 in New Braunfels, 97 in Seguin, 99 in Castroville, 94 in Bernie, 94 in Kerrville, and 95 in Comfort. Over the next few days, I think you should expect fairly similar weather. So tomorrow and for 4th of July, hot and humid in the afternoons, 97, an isolated shower or storm is possible. Don't cancel your outdoor plans. Please don't cancel your outdoor plans, but just make sure to have the KSAT Weather Authority app handy. We've got a radar on there, so if you do happen upon one of those isolated showers or storms, you can quickly duck inside. Because remember, what's the phrase? When thunder roars,
Go indoors.
there we go, Sarah.
Got
Way to
it.
go. I was waiting for you,
Okay,
Max.
but if it's not thundering, you're okay.
Well, if there's no lightning.
No,
you're
I'm saying if
okay.
there's no thunder and lightning, quick shower,
That's fine.
quick cool off from
That's
the heat.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
run through the rain instead of the sprinkler.
There you go. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. 820, 77 degrees.
Famous rapper Travis Scott will not be facing criminal charges. What a Houston grand jury found, that's after the break.
Welcome back. Big news out of Houston. A Houston grand jury not indicting rapper Travis Scott. Remember those criminal charges after that deadly crowd surge at the November 2021 Astroworld Festival. The Harris County District Attorney said the grand jury found that the crime did not occur and not a single individual has been criminally responsible. 10 people, including children, killed during this festival. Some 300 others injured during the incident. More than 500 lawsuits eventually filed, many of them against Live Nation and Travis Scott.
Madonna is postponing her world tour after spending several days in intensive care. She's now recovering at home. The star's longtime manager posted on social media that Madonna developed a serious bacterial infection last Saturday. Her manager said she is improving and a full recovery is expected. The tour was initially scheduled to kick off on July 15th in Vancouver in Canada. Other shows next month are expected to be rescheduled as well.
And a big congratulations to Naomi Campbell welcoming baby number 2. Campbell announcing the arrival of her baby boy on Instagram. She told British Vogue last year she encourages her older friends not to rule out having babies later in life.
She's 53. Good for
I
her.
had no idea.
Congratulations.
God, she looks fantastic.
Of course.
All right, time now, 8:25, 77 degrees.
Okay, crime in San Antonio has been on the rise lately. Many of those crimes involving guns. Still ahead, the concern from one coalition in Bexar County and what they are doing to push for gun safety.
Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Costa. It is July 2nd, and we are now 6 months and 1 day.
Look at us go. I got to
the
say,
year.
though, I'm very jealous. I know a lot of people having long 4-day work or weekends, long 4-day weekends, all in honor of Independence Day.
Right.
We are working each and every day.
Well, you know, we loved being here.
Did get outside yesterday. It was a lot more hot and humid.
What
than
did you
I thought it
do
was gonna be.
outside?
We played a little golf. It was the first time
Oh,
playing
that's
golf.
right.
Yeah, first time playing
You went
golf.
like at noon, though.
Yeah, it was after the
Wow.
work.
What were you thinking,
Yeah.
Max?
Oh my goodness, Max.
Not as comfortable as I would have liked. It was packed though.
You know, it really wasn't that bad yesterday, considering we had just been dealing with a heat index of 110 to 117 about a week and a half ago. But I do have to say, we are still under drought conditions, so it's good to know that we got a little rain in the overnight hours. Take a look at the drought monitor right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you a look at the radar. There's really only some light rain left over from some showers and storms out west, which dropped quite a bit of rain. This is a look at the rainfall from last night west of San Antonio. Now, if you're an early riser, you may have seen some light rain around San Antonio early this morning. That's about all that fell in the Alamo City, but we have the clouds left over from those showers and storms. So we're starting off the day cloudy and with winds calm at the moment. And looking ahead to the forecast for the day today, we are going to eventually see those clouds break up probably by about noon. But starting the day with clouds, that's going to keep our temperatures under 100 this afternoon. Still going to be hot, high temperature in the mid to upper 90s, and between 3 p.m. and about 8 p.m. there's a small 20% chance for an isolated downpour. Otherwise, it's going to be hot and humid today, and this weather pattern will persist in the coming days as well as we get ready to celebrate Independence Day. All the latest on your July 4th forecast coming up in a bit. Max.
Thank you, Sarah. Terrifying start to this morning, a situation we're seeing way too often, a shooting on the roadway and still no suspect in police custody. Take a look. This was the scene around 2 a.m. this morning. This is Rigsby and Roland Avenue. Officers on the scene telling us a man was driving down Rigsby. That's when he was shot at. That victim then drove to the intersection, called 911. He told police he didn't know who shot him or where the gunshots even came from. Eventually transported to the hospital, non-life-threatening injuries. But at last check, police still searching the area. Not only have not found a location or of the crime scene, still haven't found who's responsible.
We now know the name of the truck driver that was killed by a slab of marble that fell on him earlier this week. So 45-year-old King Shang Soon was identified by the medical examiner. Officials say he died from blunt force injury. San Antonio police say he was unloading sheets of marble when they got loose and fell on him. This happened at a business near West Avenue, Nakoma Drive on Wednesday. Workers at the business heard a loud noise, and when they ran to check up on him, they called police, and police pronounced him dead while at the scene. OSHA is investigating. And San Antonio police are searching for suspects connected to a shooting that happened on June 13th. One man is still recovering from several gunshot wounds. Police say a 40-year-old man was taking two girls he had just met to a gas station on Palo Alto. This happened back on June 13th. After making a purchase inside the gas station, two men approached the victim and tried to rob him. And two men then got into a fight with the victim. One of the suspects shot the man 4 times. These two girls and the two suspects ran from the scene and have not been seen since. Anyone with any information on this incident is urged to call Crime Stoppers.
Well, Friday, the last day of June, marked the last day of Gun Violence Awareness Month. But to one Bexar County coalition, it is just the start to pushing for more gun safety. We've had more than 100 crime calls in June, dozens involving weapons. The coalition says these are concerning statistics.
What can we do in the county commission's court, and what can the cities do to reduce gun violence?
So the Bexar County Gun Safety Coalition, they're hosting a town hall to address their concerns with community leaders in the next 2 weeks. If you want more information, we're going to have all of that, how you can reach out, have your voice heard, just head to KSAT.com.
Baltimore police have confirmed 2 people are dead and 28 are injured after a mass shooting overnight at a block party. The shooting happened just after 12:30. Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley says 9 people were transported to EMS to area hospitals, and 20 others went to hospitals as walk-in patients. This is still a very active investigation. We'll bring you the updates when we have them.
A woman in Houston says hackers recently got access to her Facebook account. And get this, they started posting items for sale on her account. The woman had people even knocking at her door trying to buy the items that she didn't even herself put up for sale. It all started when she got locked out of her Instagram and her Facebook accounts shortly after ads for items to buy started showing up and people began to buy. She said she's been having sleepless nights due to people showing up to her house trying to buy these items. She says because of all this chaos, she's now taking a break from social media.
United Airlines is hoping for better travel days for its passengers and to avoid a repeat of cancellations and delays it experienced last week. So United CEO Scott Kirby says the airline is working with the FAA and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to make improvements. Bad weather in the Northeast and the FAA's staffing shortages led to hundreds of flights being canceled or delayed, especially at Newark International Airport. Kirby says he's had productive talks with the FAA and with Buttigieg.
Well, Walgreens closing hundreds of locations in the United States and United Kingdom. The company recently reported lower earnings compared to the same quarter of last year. The CEO of Walgreens says the company was increasing its cost-saving efforts to store closures, all part of its cost-cutting efforts.
Oh, we're in the middle of summer, Max, and we aren't the only ones feeling the heat. 60 million Americans are under alerts for heat waves across multiple states.
ABC's Elwin Lopez in Georgia explaining the conditions there, how the heat there getting super dangerous.
This morning, the sweltering heat smothering at least 14 states. Heat alerts impacting more than 60 million people from southern Oregon into southern Arizona and from Texas to North Carolina this holiday weekend. At least 14 people have died in this big heat dome across the South.
It's a lot. First heat wave of the summer, and it's definitely intense.
Many avoiding the dangerous, unrelenting heat by steering clear of the outdoors.
We're going to be inside all day and keep drinking and eating. That's what we're doing.
In California, triple-digit heat postponing events like this farmer's market out of concerns for safety.
You're sitting there and as a vendor, entertainment attendees, that asphalt, magnifies 20 to 30 degrees.
First responders encouraging people who do venture outdoors to stay hydrated.
I'll be all over Nashville and I see a lot of dehydration.
And this weekend, Georgia seeing its first heat wave of the season. Temperatures soaring into the mid-90s. The scorching temps prompting officials in Atlanta to open cooling centers like this one.
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
And that was ABC's Elwin Lopez reporting. So happening today, Visit San Antonio is hosting its annual Armed Forces River Parade. This year's theme is Heart, Spirit, and Soul. The parade will start at 6 tonight, ends at 7, located on the Riverwalk. The event recognizes the invaluable service and sacrifices made by our military's brave men and women. Those attending are encouraged to make a reservation at their favorite Riverwalk patio for the best view, or bring folding chairs and sit along the parade route.
It is one of my favorite parades across the year. It's awesome. I mean, Military City, USA, always a great showing.
Right.
We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey, see if the weather's going to hold up for it or if it's going to be just terrible heat out there.
I think it's just going to be pretty hot.
Yeah. All right, time now, 8:38. If you do have things to do them now. It's only 77 degrees.
Still ahead, Twitter users might find themselves a little frustrated with the app lately after the social media app announced a limit of tweets that while you're scrolling.
Oh my goodness.
Max was very upset about it, so is Sarah Spivey. We'll explain when we come back.
I think it reset though.
It did?
I don't know. I've been able to scroll relentlessly. All right, coming up, we're going to take a look at some fun facts surrounding 4th of July holiday, not just the Independence Day factor.
Max said earlier, it's 77 degrees. It was nice, refreshing. Actually, when I walked into KSAT, I was having a little shower this morning. And I know we had some showers out to the west in our viewing area. Sarah Spivey will explain what that means for this week when we come back.
Good morning and welcome to This Week. We'll break down a monumental week of Supreme Court decisions, including our exclusive new poll on how Americans view the court. We'll speak to former Vice President Mike Pence following his surprise trip to Ukraine and his meeting with President Zelensky. Plus, Congressman Ro Khanna of California, a progressive, joins us to discuss how Democrats plan to navigate the Supreme Court's conservative supermajority. And we'll try to make sense of it all with our Powerhouse Roundtable. It's all coming up on This Week.
As we are just a day away from the 4th of July, our producer went ahead and researched some fun facts about the holiday's origins and traditions.
Very cool. So we know a lot of people celebrate with parades. Military parade today.
Yes.
Scouts. Cookouts. big burger guy, and of course, fireworks. So what is the origin of Independence Day? Obviously, the holiday celebrates the Second Continental Congress's unanimous adoption of the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. It announced the colony's separation from Great Britain.
So how did fireworks become a 4th of July tradition? Founding father John Adams might have encouraged it, as he wrote a letter to his wife back in 1776 celebrating America's independence, saying there should be parades, games, bonfires, and much more. The American Pyrotechnics Association says many historians believe fireworks were first developed in the 2nd century BC in ancient China.
Well, look at that. We know back here at home, a lot of people will be celebrating this Independence Day. We want to let you know about all the displays happening near you.
That's right. So many of the area parks and suburbs have planned 4th of July parades where they have races, food, events, live music, and of course fireworks for this year's holiday. San Antonio's event at Woodlawn Lake will return this year. The festivities start at 11 a.m. with the fireworks show being at 9 p.m.
And then Fredericksburg's 4th of July celebration start at 10 a.m., ending with a fireworks show, 9:30. Leon Valley joining on the fun. We know their parade every year, always amazing. They're starting their activities 7:30 in the morning until 9:30. For a bigger list, just head to KSAT.com. Fun fact, it was actually July 2nd when the legal document took action. July 4th is when everyone knew about it. So, happy early Independence Day.
Happy early Independence Day. And we were mentioning the Armed Forces River Parade. I wanted to show you what that's going to look like out in downtown San Antonio, at least the weather. The forecast calls for hot temperatures, highs in the mid to upper 90s. And there is a small 20% chance for an isolated shower. But we're hoping that that doesn't happen at the time of the parade, of course. Now, also, I have to mention, we got the pollen count in. Molds are high today because of all the rain that we saw out west overnight. Molds are high past 9,000 this morning and today. Looking outside, we've got clouds from all of that rain that fell west of San Antonio. There was only a few light rain showers around the Alamo City itself. It's 77 degrees outside. Those clouds are sticking around right now. And take a look at clouds and temperatures. Nice and rain cooled up in Rock Springs where it's 70 degrees, 70 in Kerrville, 71 in Uvalde. Some sun out in Del Rio, but these clouds are a little stubborn right now around San Antonio, but we should gradually see them breaking up over the next couple of hours or so. 75 in Bulverde, 81 in New Braunfels, 78 at Stinson, 76 in Castroville. Good morning in Bernie at 72 degrees and 71 in Comfort. Here's what's left of that rain. Honestly, just some light sprinkles occurring for areas like Bernie right now, where we're seeing some light rain and sprinkles from Bernie up toward Comfort and Kerrville, out toward Bandera, and we'll zoom out a little bit more. Look out toward Hondo. You can see a light isolated rain shower there. As far as rainfall totals go, really healthy rain fell west of San Antonio. Around San Antonio, we didn't register anything but a trace at the airport, and those areas that did get some light rain got maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of rain. Not going to help out with the drought conditions. However, out west, it was a different story. Take a look at some of these rainfall estimates. Near Del Rio, we saw about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of radar estimated rain. Near Uvalde, close to about 2 inches of rain. In Zavala County, there was even a bullseye of up to 6 to 7 inches of rain. And out in Eagle Pass, we were able to see up to 4 to 4.5 inches of rainfall. Don't want to forget about our friends in Hondo, where in some spots 2 to 3 inches of rain fell. But as I mentioned, things have really started to wind down for us as far as the light rain goes, and we're really just left with cloud cover. It's a big travel day. If you're planning on traveling up I-35 toward Dallas, you may run into a few showers and storms. Otherwise, that rain that we saw overnight is the tail end of this larger system, which is out across the Great Lakes. And thankfully, that heat high, which really plagued our weather for 2 weeks, has moved off to the east and weekend. Doesn't mean it's not going to be hot. It's still going to be hot today, but it's just not going to be as unbearably hot as it was over the last 2 weeks. And I do have to mention, there is a small chance this afternoon, as I mentioned earlier with the Armed Forces River Parade, that there could be a pop-up downpour, your typical summer activity. 20% coverage possible from 3 p.m. till about 8 p.m. Don't bank on the rain, though. Bank on those clouds sticking around with a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, as is forecast. Otherwise, here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast to wrap everything up for you. An isolated shower is possible over the next hour or so, but we're really only talking about a sprinkle. Then at noon, it'll be 89, and then we'll look at 98 for the high temperature today with a 20% chance for an isolated storm. As for the next few days, as you're getting ready to celebrate Independence Day, expect similar weather. Tomorrow and Tuesday, we're going to have highs in the mid to upper 90s with only a 20% chance for an isolated downpour during those festivities. So keep that in mind as you're planning your plans outdoors. Keep that KSAT Weather 30 app handy. It's got a radar on there. This is not plan canceling rain. This is quickly duck inside if you happen upon one of those isolated showers and storms rain.
I wonder if it's even enough rain to like water plants, or if you have to do additional watering.
I think you should do additional watering. Yeah, especially today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 8:49, 77 degrees.
It seems like more places are asking you to leave a tip. Yes. Coming up tomorrow, we will get into what the new tipping etiquette is for 2023.
Good morning and welcome back. Okay, so if you're like us, you saw the message. You've exceeded your limit on Twitter. And even so, if you're like us, you saw Twitter down was trending yesterday. A lot of people, like myself.
I was like, where's the us?
Yeah.
I was.
No, because so we had this
Sarah
conversation
Spivey was upset
during the show yesterday where I turned to you and I said, are you getting this message on Twitter?
I said, I'm really not really on Twitter.
Right.
But I said, it looks like you've
tweeted too much.
You twittered too much.
You twittered too much.
Because tweeted is you're tweeting, but if you're scrolling through Twitter, you're
twittering.
You're twittering.
I think there's a new verb.
Yeah.
I think you're using Twitter.
Yeah.
I think we need to add this to the dictionary.
You're
Keep on
trawling.
No,
You're twalling because you're not scrolling, but you're twalling through
Twitter scrolling.
You're scrolling
All right,
through
guys.
Okay, so regardless, so if you did get the message like we did, and then had this annoying conversation.
Twilling. You're twilling.
Are you gonna keep going?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This was a temporary policy change. CEO Elon Musk posted that due to, quote, extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, the platform was imposing content consumption limits. For now, or at least overnight, verified accounts, they were limited to reading 8,000 tweets a day. That was actually a change. It started at 6,000. Regular accounts, like myself, who are not verified, 800 tweets a day. Not a timetable for when the temporary policy will be lifted. I will say, been using Twitter throughout the morning and haven't been limited. I've definitely went through more than 600 tweets, but that's just, Sarah had a good point. Sarah Spivey had a good point. When you're just scrolling, 600 tweets is easy to see.
I don't know.
For sure.
I don't twill.
Just keep making up verbs.
Okay. One more reminder, we want to let you know about the 4th of July displays happening near you. You can take a look at your screen. Of course, the big one is at Woodlawn Lake starting at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. The firework display here in San Antonio at 9 a.m., Fredericksburg from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and Leon Valley having a big celebration starting at 7:30 with the fireworks display at 9:30.
And of course, if you don't have plans yet, you want to find out more celebrations, you're not going to go to Sarah Costa's house for a grill out, head to KSAT.com.
All right, in the pollen count, molds are high past 9,000. We've got some clouds out there keeping temperatures down temporarily, but it's still going to be a hot day. We'll be looking at a high temperature right near about 98 this afternoon. A 20% chance for an isolated downpour in the afternoon. If you're west of San Antonio, boy, you got a lot of rain last night. That's good news. In our forecast here in San Antonio, we're really only going to see isolated rain in the coming days, that typical summer activity. Once you get into the peak heat of the day, a few popcorn showers and storms popping up around the area. Highs in the upper 90s.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. Happy 4th of July if we don't see you, but we're all going to be working tomorrow.
We'll be here.
All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Have a good Sunday, y'all.